Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to be doing another top 10 list. And today's top 10 list is going to be my top 10 summer movies 2016 box office predictions. This is where I basically predict what 10 movies will be the top 10 films of the box office in the summer of 2016. Last year I did pretty well as well. This is my third year doing it. Last year I got an 8 out of 10, just like, the year before. Hopefully this year maybe I can get all 10 right. You never know. So, let's get right on with it, shall we? And with my number 10. And that is The Conjuring 2. Now, the original Conjuring, surprised a lot of people. Surprised, a lot of critics and a lot of the audience, the going audience, with how scary the film was and, how just great the film was in general. And the first movie did make a lot of money at the box office, so probably the sequel will make just as much. I was very conflicted of what to put at number 10. I was thinking like Warcraft, Independence Day Resurgence. I was just going back and forth, but The Conjuring 2, I think, has a chance to just get that 10th spot. And I think it will. So yeah, coming at number 10 is The Conjuring 2. Number 9, Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising. Now, Neighbors 2, the original, just like with The Conjuring, the original was a surprise hit. No one expected that movie to make tons of money, and to beat out The Amazing Spider-Man 2 at the box office, that's pretty incredible. So it definitely shows that the sequel will make a lot of money. I think it will get that 9th spot. And and comedy sequels have made lots of money in the past. Look at 22 Jump Street, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think Neighbors 2 has a chance of being in that number 9 spot. And of course it's got Seth Rogen, Chloe Grace and Zac Efron, who are 3 kind of box office draws as of right now. So, number 9 is Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising. Number 8, Alice Through the Looking Glass. Almost said Alice in Wonderland, but the original, well, not the original, but the 2010 live action original made $1 billion, surprisingly. So, I don't think this one will make as much as the original, but I do think it will crack the top 10, like at number 8, but I don't see it, because people didn't really like the first one, and it was just kind of a mess, the original. So, I do think this one will still make a lot of money, but I don't see it making $1 billion like the original. So, number 8 is Alice Through the Looking Glass. Grass, apparently that's what it's called now. Number 7 is Star Trek Beyond. Now, of course, it's Star Trek. It's a very, very popular franchise. I know some people are shocked that it's this low, but kind of like with Terminator last year, it's just stacked. There's a lot of movies coming out. So I do think it will take the number 7 spot because, like I said, it's Star Trek. It's the 3rd installment of J.J. Abrams, Star Trek series. So, and it will make tons of money just because of the Star Trek name alone. And lots of people love the first 2, installments of the J.J. Abrams series. So, yeah, I definitely see Star Trek Beyond making tons of money. So, coming at number 7 is Star Trek Beyond. Number 6. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Now, in 2014, I didn't put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in my top 10. That might have been a mistake, but I honestly did not think that one was going to do as well as it did. Because I was like, I didn't think it was going to bomb, but it wasn't going to draw numbers like they were expecting. Because a lot of people were kind of hating on this movie before it was coming out. Like, it was like, getting a lot of backlash, so I didn't expect it to make a lot of money. But to my surprise, it did. So that's why I'm putting the sequel so high, because it did make tons of money at the box office, the original. And, it's got the Turtles name behind it, so Obviously, lots of people are going to go and see it. So that's why I put it at the number 6 spot. Number 5 is Jason Bourne. Obviously, like, I know I've been saying this a lot, but obviously the Bourne franchise is a very, very popular trilogy. A very popular series of film. And with the fact that this is the return of Matt Damon and the return of Paul Greengrass, that makes it even... Now people are going to want to see even more, you know what I mean? And I do think this will be the highest grossing movie of that franchise. Obviously, because it's the latest installment. And, I definitely think it looks like an awesome film. I hope it does crack that number 5 spot and just barely makes it into the top 5. So, yeah, my number 5 is Jason Bourne. Number 4 is XMen Apocalypse. Come on, it's the X-Men franchise. This has been a superhero franchise that's been ongoing for 16 years now. 16 years, and it's still going strong. I definitely do think X-Men Apocalypse will be the highest grossing of this franchise. I mean, Days of Future Past made tons of money. It really did. It made a lot of dough. And I do think X-Men Apocalypse will make a lot of money. And, like I said, it's got the X-Men name behind it. Comic book movies are the thing right now. So, definitely, X-Men Apocalypse will get that number 4 spot. So, yeah. Number 3 is Suicide Squad. Now, I know this is kind of a little bit of a risk putting this high, because what DC is going through in their current state isn't really all the greatest. So, putting at this number 3 spot is kind of being a risk. But honestly, this isn't something we've never seen from a comic book movie. Let's take a bunch of misfit villains who, do bad things. And let's try to make them good, like, quote-unquote, good. So, and obviously the Joker, he's in the film. That's really, honestly, the biggest draw of this movie is the Joker. And a lot of people, I think, will go and see it just because of that. And plus, this is, like I said, something different from other comic book films. And, this is not being directed by Zack Snyder. So maybe this gives people a little bit more hope than maybe Batman v Superman. So I do think Suicide Squad will take the 3rd spot and will make tons of money. So yeah. Number 2 is Finding Dory. Now, the reason I had this at number 2 and higher than a lot of these films is because we got to think of something here. We got to think of the children. That's what we basically have to think of in this situation. Not saying adults aren't going to see this movie. Of course they are. Because it is a sequel to one of the most popular anime films of all time, Finding Nemo. Be honest with yourselves. What 3 movies do you think of when you think of Pixar? You think of the Toy Story trilogy, you think of The Incredibles, and Finding Nemo. Those are the 3 movies you think of right at the top of your head. And definitely Finding Dory will make tons of money. I could honestly see it making $1 billion. I'm not gonna lie. I can honestly see if this movie, if there's a report saying, oh, Finding Dory has made $1 billion at the box office, I would not be surprised. I really would not be surprised because, like I said, we gotta think of the children in this aspect because they're gonna be out of school and they're gonna want to maybe see a movie, and this is probably the perfect film for them to see. So, number 2, I have Finding Dory. So, my number 1, what do I think will be the highest grossing film of the summer? And it will be, do I even have to, actually, Captain America Civil War. I don't need to do a drum roll because it's obvious. Now, I said the same thing last year with Avengers Age of Ultron, and I was wrong. It was Jurassic World. But I am guaranteed 1 billion% that this will be the highest grossing film of the summer. It is a guaranteed. It really is, because it is 2 of Marvel's biggest heroes in their cinematic universe, of course, going head-to-head. Captain America, Iron Man, choose a side. United we stand, divided we fall. So, it definitely seems like this will be the highest grossing film of the year. And we gotta remember, Spider-Man is kind of the big draw in this, if you really think about it. Like, not taking anything away from Captain America, because it's his film, but really Spider-Man is the biggest draw, so maybe that will help a lot as well. And it just looks like a great movie. And, right now Marvel and Star Wars, which, oddly enough, are both owned by Disney, are basically the box office kings right now. So I definitely do think Captain America Civil War will be the highest grossing film of summer 2016. So yeah, and I'm calling it right now, $1 billion. Quote me on that. So yeah. So that is my top 10 summer movies 2016 box office predictions. I want to know, what are your predictions for the box office this year? Leave them in the comments section below. And I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you out later. Peace.